Hi everyone, welcome to my Shoreline Studio. I'm Sybille Muschik, and behind the camera is Joshua Blanc, also known as the Manitou, for his beautiful music for our videos. Now we're continuing on with our graphite transfers, and this one is going to be in color. And I have to redraw my image that I've already done previously, just to make sure we have enough graphite for the transfer. So here we go. Now this process works great on a variety of other papers. Today we're using a Bristol board, and it's a drawing paper. It's heavier than tag, and it's a beautiful drawing paper, but it will take other media like water media. And we'll be working with the water media graphite pencil, where we can do little washes. But mostly we're going to be concentrating on color this time. Now I have found if you're using the Oriental paper with just a release coat, you can print about 4 or 5 pieces, which is great. It's almost like a limited edition. But when you're using a heavier paper like the Bristol board, that doesn't really happen. And that's what we're focusing on today. Just moving my paper around so it's easier to redraw this thing. These little funny shapes in here are actually dips in the flower. This is a dogwood, one of the large ones that you find close to Vancouver and probably lots of other places. Dogwood is a symbol of the flower for BC, British Columbia. And it can come in either a sepia tone or bright white or sort of a pinkish tone. Now, trying not to forget any lines here. And there we go. And as I said, I'll show you the image in a second. Now, have we covered everything a little? Okay, I'm just going to draw a border around this one because of the color. It will help when I do the cropping. Just finishing off here, our center. I'm going to make it quite dark because that's what it is. Could put extra graphite on there. And I might just shade it a little bit for some of the shadows. Now it will probably smear maybe a little bit when we start working in color, but we'll see. And just with the previous video, we did some cross-hatching. Certainly you could do that for the shadows. A little bit here. And this is take the shape of the leaf for the shadows. Okay. I think we have most of it under control. Make sure that edge is really dark. In this case, our outlines are really, really important. So here's our little dogwood, and you can see these little shadow areas here on the flower. I didn't bother with the second flower. It's kind of obscure, and I've eliminated a lot of the leaves and the background. And the background we can work with on the gel plate with other fun things. So let's get our gel plate back. It needs maybe a little bit more cleaning, but I think it's fine. We're just going to place our image carefully in one go. And push hard. The Baron is really, really handy here. I'm always recommending it. It's a little Japanese tool for printmaking. All right, so let's see here. How's our transfer? Okay, what happened on that side? Well, we can redraw that. Now the colors we're going to be using are, we're going to make green, but we're going to actually start with a yellow and a yellow sort of orange tone. That's often what our little dogwood is like. The orange just gives it a bit of a warm glow, and just a very small amount. And then we're going to add our medium, and then we will roll it out. Now you can see how intense that yellow is, and that just might be a bit much. I'm going to probably add some white to that. It's a little rude sounding, isn't it? Oh dear. We do have fun here at the studio, I must say. That's much better. Now you have to watch it because that's reasonably opaque, and make sure that you can see the image. So you'll have to roll it for a while. I put a border on it. It will help us when we crop the image. And you want to make sure maybe that most of the white is in that center. I think that's a lovely color. Okay, now brayer off. And this is just like a regular photo transfer, or when you're using magazines. You must see the image underneath or it's not going to transfer. So you're just slightly toning your paper. There we go. I've placed my Bristol board paper on the gel plate. We have got the first layer of paint on, and I'm just registering my paper. Pretty noisy. Because we're going to be using multiple colors, it's much easier to print it properly if you register it. Now we've got it down, we've barrened it. Maybe do it a little bit more. Make sure everything comes up. We've got a few little spots, white spots. Okay, we have quite a few white spots, but that would just create interest. Okay, I'm just going to run, maybe our paint dried a little bit, that's fine. We'll just run it a bit more. Because we're using a lot of colors, you know, this will just give some interesting tones. I think we didn't add quite enough medium. Okay. sometimes when you run into a few problems, it helps you to learn what you should and shouldn't do, so this is all to the good. Again, try and get most of it off. Let's see if that'll pick up better now. Oh yes, much better. Okay, we've lost a little bit of our flower, but I think we can enhance that. Right, okay, so now we're going to add a blue layer and then we're going to start masking out some things. Of course, you know that blue and yellow make green. And so our leaves are going to turn out green. Then we're going to mask out the center. And again, roll it in such a way that you can still see the image. Color is a little more tricky than just the black and white, but we just see what happens. Now I have my little stencil shapes here. Here's our flower. We're just going to block out the flower so it stays yellow and print the rest. Okay. And even though we had sort of a rough start, look at how interesting that is in the background. And our flower is now not so obscure. And now we're going to we'll block out the leaves and do some interest in the background, and then we'll enhance the lines with the water-soluble graphite. That's the cunning plan anyway. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add some white to that blue. And lots of medium. And it will give us sort of a mottled look here. And then the leaves will stay darker, and you'll have sort of a bit of a sky. And again, and we're just going to give it some interest by picking up a bit of the paint. So I've just got a little bit of rice paper here, and we're just going to do some texture. And just have to make sure that our flower here is visible. I'm just going to take more of the paint off, I think. Okay, and just enough to we have to place the leaves too, so a little of that texture is remaining behind. That's good. And this way. Will be interesting because some of the blue will touch the edge. We can deal with that. Okay, so then the rest is just leaves. We have the side piece here. I just have to figure out I think think that works. Yep. And then a little crunched here, but I think that goes under. Okay, so we've blocked out and print. There, looking for my Bren as usual. Put some muscle into it. This is where it counts. And we have green leaves and our, oh, we obscured the flower a little bit, but I can take that off actually. While the paint is wet, you're quite capable of adjusting stuff. See? Okay. It's almost like a little bit of a shadow, it's fine. And the graphite is staying good. Okay, we're at the final step now, back to our water-soluble graphite. I've just scrubbed a little bit of the blue that was in the wrong place. Now we're just going to enhance our lines. And suddenly the whole thing comes to life. Here's our center. And this part of the flower was in shadow. I think I might scrub a little bit more off of that. Bring it back to the yellow a little bit. See, this drawing paper is really quite versatile. There we go. Just get that dry. Add your graphite. I've done this fast and furiously, and I know you will take much more care and time. It's just to show you the possibilities. And the outlining here really brings the page to life. So I would love to see this done, you know, with buildings and architecture of some kind. And even figures, I think, would be nice. So I hope you'll try it. and you can post it to gelatin printing enthusiasts or to Nitsa Malik's Be Creative, etc. Site. And we can take get some of those shadows back. And get that center really dark. Okay. And I think we're there. We'll let this dry. And then we'll post it at the end. So there you have it, our little BC emblem dogwood. You can never resist another touch. Anyway, yeah, enjoy this process. I know it's been fast and furious here at Shoreline Studio. And, you know, we need to let things dry and so forth, but it's fun. And give it a shot. And it's fun to outline stuff and enhance things this way. Of course, you could put other stencils and all sorts of stuff. You could put lettering on it, no end of stuff. And but we're done for today. And it's, I think, always these last little moments. So take care and have fun in your studio or wherever you paint. And be sure and join us again here at Shoreline Studio for another session, crazy session. Take care and bye for now.